I am meeting in your last 1 hour. Though I was scheduled to come a little early, I got delayed. I am extremely sorry for coming late and eating into your extra time. Maharashtra, you all know, it's known for cooperatives, one of the pioneering states in the country to start cooperatives, successfully running cooperatives for the last century and decade. In fact, the cooperative movement in Maharashtra is almost 110 years old. We have excellent, wide network of cooperatives. Today's discussion, that is financial inclusion and role of cooperative sector. I was listening to the panelists and award officers here. In fact, Maharashtra is, even though the financial inclusion concept has come very 2002 onwards, it has really picked up. But still, since so long it is financially as well as socially, the inclusion program in Maharashtra is run through the cooperative sector in a wide range of aspects. I thought I'll make a small presentation on cooperative sector in Maharashtra with a specific focus on the cooperative banks and cooperative credit societies in Maharashtra and their role in financial inclusion in relation to Jan Dhan Yojana. This I need not run through it. As I said earlier, this is one of the oldest proven channel of inclusion in the country. Maharashtra, it is quite successfully it is working. To limit my statement to Maharashtra, these are highly decentralized, popularly controlled cooperative societies in Maharashtra. Unlike in other states, every year religiously these societies, whether it is an urban bank, whether it is an urban cooperative credit society like the Adarsh Credit Cooperative Society, every credit society has elections regularly done. Financial inclusion, I need not say what it implies, what it decides, what is the wish of Government of Maharashtra, Government of India about it. The contribution of cooperative sectors to the economy in the country, if you see, milk collection is 56%, which is from the cooperative sector. If I confine myself to just Maharashtra, 80% of the milk collection comes from the cooperative sectors. So is the handloom. Sugar production, 46% of Indian sugar production comes from the cooperative sector. In that, entire sugar production in the country, 40% of the sugar production is coming from Maharashtra, which is purely from the cooperative sector. Just you can imagine the amount of the contribution of cooperative sectors to wealth creation in Maharashtra. Even we have fertilizer distribution, fertilizer production, wheat procurement, fishermen cooperatives, especially in the Konkan belt, the coastal belt of Maharashtra. As I said earlier, it is 110-year-old movement in Maharashtra. The first ever cooperative sector was done in 1904 in the United Maharashtra, which is Gujarat as well as Maharashtra. We have 2.3 lakh cooperative societies operational and working in the state of Maharashtra with a population of 6.37 crore members actively participating in the cooperative, different cooperatives. The turnover in these institutions is almost like 6 lakh crores. Direct and indirect employment is around 2 million. This is basically in the cooperative sector purely. There are some other people who are dependent on the cooperative sector. That's why we say almost half of the Maharashtra population is dependent on the cooperative sector directly, and rest of the half is indirectly connected one way or the other way to the cooperative sector in Maharashtra. These are the pioneers of cooperative movement in Maharashtra who have devoted their entire life for the cooperative movement. The first ever cooperative sugar factory in the country was set up by Tatya Sahib Kore. Later on, Vitulrao B.K. Patil, where you can see even today this is one of the best sugar factories run in Maharashtra, along with other cooperative factories. Even our policy makers, the ex-CMs of Maharashtra, have devoted extremely valuable time for promoting cooperatives in Maharashtra. As a result, even today we see the involvement of population in a large way in cooperatives. They look up to cooperatives for any kind of help, yet whatsoever, from the family to the society to the community. This I need not go through. See, though cooperatives have not grown in the initial stages, later on in the last 3-4 decades, there was extensive growth in cooperative societies registration as well as organization. Till 1991 onwards, this has started. Actually, 91 onwards, early 80s, there was a separate department created for cooperatives. As a result, we can see escalated growth in cooperative societies and their working in Maharashtra. This is the share of cooperatives in Maharashtra, almost like 36% in comparison to other states. So with this setup, with this vast network of cooperatives, how are the cooperatives helping in financial inclusion in Maharashtra? Here I take just 5 minutes of your valuable time. We have 3 categories of cooperatives for financial inclusion. We have agri-credit cooperatives. As NABARD officer has said, Mr. Mitra has said, we have PACs, DCC banks and FIPS bank, which cater to the agriculture credit needs of the rural population. We have urban cooperative banks. We have almost like 520 urban cooperative banks in Maharashtra, which is almost like 40% of the entire cooperative banks in India. Then we have credit cooperatives, which cater to the semi-urban areas and then rural areas. We have almost like 21,000 credit cooperative societies, which cater to small-time business requirements and farmers as well. Agricultural credit, as Muhammad Yunus has said, it has become a basic human right. Even today, 65% of our Indian population, as probably earlier in the morning we have definitely deliberated, hardly 35% of the population is covered with the financial products, financial services through the formal sector, that is banking sector, whether it is the cooperative sector or nationalized bank or any other banking sector. Rest of the 35% still depend on various informal sources for the meeting of their cooperative credit needs. The cooperative banks in Maharashtra contribute almost like 74% of the total requirements, farmers' requirements especially. This, when I say farmers' requirement, this is about short-term loans which we are giving through the DCC banks, through the PACs and other cooperative institutions. Whereas the rest of the financial institutions, especially the commercial banks, contribute to rest of the percentage. I need not go to the 3-day structure system in Maharashtra. In fact, the rest of the states also have the same system more or less, except 1 or 2 states wherein we have a 2-day structure. However, when I say the involvement of DCC banks as well as MSC Bank, MSC Bank is our apex bank in Maharashtra. Their deposit base, as I said, even today, people in Maharashtra still believe the cooperative sector can give them better results, can give them better service. As a result, still they keep faith in cooperative sector. Out of this advances, total 38,000 plus 10,000, almost like 49,000 crores is given as advances each year to these. This is the last year's figures. This I need not run through actually. We have urban cooperatives. In fact, this magazine has clearly mentioned Maharashtra has a lion's share in the cooperative urban banking sector. In fact, we have almost like 3% or 3.5% of the entire banking sector is catered by the urban cooperatives. Out of that, Maharashtra has a major chunk. Maharashtra has almost like 75% of urban banks and their services in Maharashtra. For financial inclusion, urban banks, I personally believe, in fact, even the government believes, is one of the strongest mechanisms for excellent service delivery. Urban banks as well as the other cooperative institutions. In fact, when I say other cooperative institutions, banks, even today, in the scheme of things, in the overall scheme of things, the banks are not even included into this sector. If the Jan Dhan Yojana, I believe later on definitely they will be included. In fact, I personally believe they are the effective measures, effective mechanisms to reach out to the unreached regions and areas and economically backward communities. As I said earlier, urban banks, we have almost 41% of the banks in Maharashtra. 63% of the deposits raised in the country come from Maharashtra. Advances also almost 66% of the advances come from Maharashtra urban cooperative banks. Some of the banks in which Cosmos is there, Avyuday is there, Saraswati is there, various other banks are there. The cooperatives cover almost many of the sectors they cover, especially the sugar, as I said earlier, dairy, textiles, fisheries, and finance as well, financial institutions we have. This I need not cover. When I said the cooperatives, probably the audience may be thinking it is confined only to the financial institution, financial sector. We have various other sectors wherein cooperatives are effectively working and they are contributing to the wealth creation of the state as well as the nation. We have cooperatives in education and training as well. Even medical field also we have cooperative hospitals in Maharashtra. Agriculture cooperatives in industrial cooperatives are on a large scale. We have dairy is one of the major sectors in Maharashtra. As I said earlier, 80% of our milk collection comes from cooperative sector. In the last, when Jan Dhan Yojana was being launched, Honorable Prime Minister has given a statement saying that it is easy for the rich to get a loan at a lower interest rates, but the poor are forced to seek loans from the money lenders at 5 times the rate charged to the rich. It's a fact. Actually, one of the panelists was actually telling how these people, he said around 400 odd percentage was the rate of interest charged in Delhi. In fact, Maharashtra is not a exception to that. Though rates of interest may not be as high as in other states, Maharashtra also has a large presence of money lenders in the state. This statement drives the importance of money lending and its control. Maharashtra has come out with a Money Lending Act to control, supervise and regulate the money lending activity in Maharashtra. In fact, though it is 2014 Act, we had earlier in 1946 Act enacted by the then British regime, which we replaced it with a new Act in 2014, with giving a lot of powers to the departmental officers for controlling and supervising the money lending activity. In fact, here we have prescribed clearly the rates of interest to be charged, which would be prescribed by the state government when they are giving it. In fact, we prescribe the rates of say 9% and 12% for short-term credit and 15 to 18% for long-term credit with securities and without securities. When this act was created, in fact, the background of this act was the suicides happening in Maharashtra, especially in one part of Maharashtra region, that is Devara region, large-scale suicides were happening. As a result, Maharashtra government felt we should have an effective control mechanism to see how it can be regulated. We went to, one of the initiatives taken by government was to take this act in a simple language to each and every village. So on 26 January 2014, we took out a small booklet of this act in a simple language, colloquial language. And this simple booklet was read out in 46,000 Gram Sabhas held on 26 January 2014. These are some of the snaps. I wanted to leave, before I conclude, I wanted to leave you all with a small little thought saying that we have 65% of Indian population even today depending on informal sources of finance. When 35% are taking banking loans are using financial services from formal sector. 65% are definitely, even though they need, they have credit requirements, they depend definitely on other sources which are informal sources. One thought is, while doing Jan Dhan Yojana, which we are trying to see each and every family in India is covered with banking is a savings account and then other financial services and financial products. Can we think of bringing about all these money lenders who are in the system working very effectively, who are close to the community, who are close to the area, into our mainstream, so that we can achieve our objective of Jan Dhan Yojana. Can we not do it? Suppose we do it, what happens? What are the regulatory mechanisms? We can definitely come up with a model. In fact, we have a model in Maharashtra. It can be implemented. There are some regulatory issues. There are some supervisory issues. Definitely, when I look back, when we nationalized banking system, one of the major objectives was to bring about financial inclusion. Though it was not said in so many words, it was our objective. Today, the time has come. We should have a out-of-box thinking and see whether we can do such kind of system, so that when one of the speakers was telling, by sheer opening of an account, are we bringing these people into the fold, financial fold? Probably they may lapse back into the old system. By bringing the entire money lending agents in India as well as in Maharashtra, we can ensure these people who depend today on money lenders may not go back to the entire the old system again. Probably we need to have a big thinking about that and see whether we can do such kind of thing. I personally believe definitely it is possible. Nothing is impossible in India. We can definitely do it. With these few words, I conclude my presentation. Thank you very much.